Hello, and thank you for joining me for the first day of 21 days on the mountain. A chance to create space and take a breath together, to learn and practice the power of pause. So here I am in a big Alpine meadow, about 20 meters from my house just over there. And behind us, which you probably can't see too well in this shot, are a pair of magnificent mountains. And in the first mountain on my left, that you probably can't see, there's a huge nest at the top of that mountain for a pair of gypaètes, or bearded vultures, that have been living there for about 15 years, and every year they have a baby which learns to fly, and the three of them fly through this valley majestically and splendidly, giving everyone who beholds them huge joy. But right now, in this moment, let's learn the power of pause. But before we start, why does it matter? How does it help you to pause? Well, I think the biggest, most important reason for learning to pause is to create space to think before you react. And actually, if you create space to think before you react, what you do is, rather than reacting, you respond. And you respond in a way that you mean, or you say what you mean. Often when we react, we might burst out something that isn't what we meant at all. And the worst of that is that we can hurt the very people who we love. And particularly at this time when let's face it, we're constrained. We don't have the freedom of movement that we normally have. We might find ourselves, cooped up in our house or in our flat or wherever we live, in a space that feels confining, with people we love but may not want to hang out with all day, and yearning for our own space. And at this time when we can't actually have it, we need to learn how to create it within us for ourselves. So let's start with the 3 steps of pausing. The very first one, perhaps not surprisingly, is actually to press a pause button or something, whatever you want to call it. Some kind of image that you might have in your mind, or something that you can feel or sense that says to you, stop. Stop speaking. Don't say anything. Just pause. Now what I do is I imagine a pause button around about here. So what I do is I turn my attention inside as if I were pressing a metaphoric button somewhere there. And I feel as if I'm actually pressing it. Stop. Pause. And as I do that, I bring my awareness to this space inside. Now, if you find that difficult, what you might decide to do is focus on a spot, perhaps slightly to the right of the person who's speaking to you, who might have triggered this reaction that you've started to notice. And you simply turn your focus, if not literally, but in your mind, away from the stimulus that is causing this trigger. So focus on something, whether it's here, as I do, or whether for you it's something outside yourself, if that's easier. But focus on this thing. So pause, focus. And as you do that, begin to breathe consciously. If you like, the 3rd step is to breathe, but these things are happening pretty much simultaneously. Pause, focus, and breathe consciously. And I breathe in through my nose or through my mouth if my nose is blocked, breathing in and out. And as I breathe in, I'm bringing my awareness to this space right here. I might place my hand, and I breathe into the back of my hand. And I feel as if I'm creating space inside. I'm expanding inside, if you like. And as I breathe out, I release and let go. And in that action of breathing in and breathing out, of expanding and releasing, I'm actually shifting my physiology. I'm shifting something inside me very gently, but just enough to create the mental space I need to respond on purpose rather than reacting from a triggered place. So those are the 3 steps. I invite you, if you can, to look inside here, but if you find that hard, to focus on something outside you. And we're going to practice them together in a minute, quietly, in silence. And as you do that, know that the reason that we're practicing this is to build like an internal muscle, which over time can, with regular practice and perseverance and concentration, develop into a new habit of pausing on purpose to say and do what you mean in the moment. So let's practice together now. Close your eyes if it helps you to concentrate. I'm going to close mine, or keep them open if you prefer. And remember the 3 steps: pause, focus, breathe, and know that as you're doing it, you're developing a new habit. So closing my eyes, I press the pause button. I bring my awareness to the space behind my hand, and I breathe consciously into that space. So please do this with me. Pause, focus, breathe. And practice together for 1 minute in silence now. So when you're ready, on your next out-breath, gently open your eyes. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, practice pausing, taking a moment, following the 3 steps, expanding the space inside, and releasing. And notice what changes. And know that as you're doing it, you're starting to grow this muscle of pause that will help you respond on purpose. Thank you for joining me today. And please do join me again tomorrow when we'll practice this again. Thank you.